Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gypsy Poet Radio. I'm the Gypsy Poet, and this weekend we have an amazing band straight out of Texas, just like your girl here. Please welcome Josh and the Jetons.
Hello. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, I can.
Yes. Okay, wonderful. Good to have you on the show again, Chris. How you doing?
I am doing all right. Last couple of nights have been super fun. Looking forward to another fun night tonight.
Oh, wonderful. I'm very excited because I'm discovering some wonderful things about the DFW area. And you guys have some contemporaries that you're surrounded by. And I've been kind of searching around and looking around to find out who does what and who plays what, and see if there's anything going on in that area. So I want to know something. Who are some acts you'd love to send some love to on the air this evening?
Oh, man. There are so many amazingly talented bands up here that we love that I'm going to name a bunch off. And I know I'm going to miss some, and I'm going to apologize in advance to everybody who is listening to this now or listens to it later, and they go, "Hey, why didn't you mention us?" I'm sorry. There's so many. The first band we have to give love to is a band called Mean Motor Scooter. And part of the reason for that is not only because of how supportive they've been, but literally half of that band, Joe Tacky and Rebecca Elizabeth, have produced and engineered our two albums. So not only are they, super supportive as far as, shows and everything, but they've really helped us craft our sound in the studio. So, you can't really get much more supportive than that, really. After them, we've got Bruce Magnus, who are great friends of ours that literally happen to rehearse right across the street from us. We actually rehearse in our bass player Matt's living room, and we kept hearing this other band rehearsing across the street. And so finally one day we literally went over and knocked on the door and said, "Hey, what's up?" And it was the beginning of a beautiful friendship, and so that's just been one of those things that it's turned into. We play a lot of shows together, and we're always trying to boost each other up. Henry the Archer is another great local band that we love. Meech Pango, Cherry Mantis, the Prof Fuzz 63. Chancy, Flight by Nothing, Sunny Disposition, Cutthroat Finches, The Spectacle. All of these are bands that we've either played with or we want to play with, and just the scene up here is so supportive, and everybody is trying to do the best music that they can and put on the best shows that they can, and there doesn't really seem to be a lot of the tearing each other down and backbiting that sometimes happens in certain scenes or communities. So that's my initial list of people. Like I said, I'm sure after this airs and everybody listens, I'm going to get some messages like, "Dude, you forgot us." Like, I'm sorry, but that's definitely at least a good solid initial list.
Yeah, understand. So now that we've covered the local scene, I want to know who your dream act is that you'd like to open up for.
Oh, man. So there's definitely a lot of overlap here with some of the band's biggest influences. Like Pie in the Sky Dream stuff, opening for U2, opening for Oasis, opening for Springsteen or Muse or Primus or Breaking Benjamin or the Toadies. Those would all be just amazing shows to have happen. And I mean, chaos theory says that all things, however improbable, are possible. So, if these things come to pass, that would be amazing. We're not necessarily going to hold our breath on it happening, because, because reality is what it is. But I think we could probably all die happy if we opened for any of those bands.
Understood. Yeah. Now the next question was, who would like to open up for?
Pretty much all the bands that I mentioned earlier, as far as giving love to. I mean, these are all bands that we're happy to open for. We're happy to play gigs with. I don't necessarily think we're super fussed as to who we open for. I mean, the reality is we want to play good shows. We want to play music for people. And if people are reaching out and saying, hey, do you want to play this show and open it? As a generalized statement, I mean, if we can do it, we're gonna do it because we just want to get in front of people if at all possible.
Oh, yeah, obviously. And you guys have everything. I love your sound. It's fun, and it's crazy, and I love this. If I could coin a good phrase for the sound that you have, I would definitely call it a fresh take on grunge, because you do have those influences. But the thing is, the sound is not outdated. You have brought something new and fresh, and it's crunchier than the one from yesteryear is what I'm seeing. Now, going into your album, The Sound of Love Burning, it was released on February 21st. Congratulations, by the way. And we've heard a few of the tracks. Yes, we've heard a few of the tracks in a couple of episodes. What has been the response like so far?
So overall, the response has been really, really positive. Even from people that don't have to be nice to us, there's always that thing when you put out music. There's a certain subset of people that you don't necessarily expect are always going to tell you the truth. Sometimes immediate, super, super close friends and family will sometimes do that. Oh yeah, it's really cool, even though they may not think that. Now, fortunately, we're surrounded by people who, if we put out something that was terrible, they would tell us. Like we would definitely be getting messages and commentary, people going, "What are you guys doing with this? Like this is junk. This is garbage. What are you doing?" I mean, even from the point that we were in the studio back in either September or October, the months all kind of blend together after a while, and we were recording the album with Joe and Rebecca from the Motor Scooter, and even at that point, they were kind of listening to the songs and going, "Guys, there's something here. Like this feels really solid," and neither of them are prone to saying something that neither of them are prone to saying they like something when they don't. So that was initially encouraging, and then we've gotten a couple of really good write-ups about the album. Just had a really nice review come out in one of the local Fort Worth papers the other day that basically was just kind of this gushingly positive review on the album from somebody that I don't think any of the three of us have ever met. And so we kind of looked at that like, okay, this is kind of cool that people that have no connection to us whatsoever are digging the album and responding to it. So that's definitely been a really, really encouraging and fun thing as far as that goes.
Understood. Great response. I want to get into one of the songs, and the song that I want to get into this evening is called All Right, All Right. Is there a story behind the song?
There's always a story behind the song. So this song is actually off of our debut album, which was just called All Right. And this album was actually released in February of 2019. And this song was the working title on it was Matthew McConaughey, because the full title of the song is All Right, All Right, All Right. But then after kind of looking and seeing that there are actually a surprising number of songs that are called Matthew McConaughey, because we actually looked at that when we were getting everything set up, and we kind of went, no, we're not going to do that. The secondary thing with this song was from the first album, this song took the most amount of takes to get the bass and drum tracks done, because we basically track the bass and drums live. So one of us screws up, usually me, and we have to redo the entire take. It's just it just works better for us energy wise and all that. And this song, like everything else on the first album and even the second album, like the most amount of takes we did on anything was 3, just to get kind of sunk into it and get a good flow. And this one took 5, which doesn't necessarily sound like a lot, but just how I literally melted down on this song like twice. There was a transition that I just could not get right, and we literally had to take like just a 10-15 minute chill break to let me like just kind of reset, and then we could go in and do it. So it's funny in hindsight. At the time, I was so mad because it's like, this is not the song I should be screwing up. I know this song. Why is this happening? So yeah, it was definitely a moment as far as that goes.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so here it is. This is called All Right, All Right, and it's by Josh and the Jet Noise. Here we go.
You know how to keep me moving along. on the phone, and I start to feel alright. 'Cause we're going out, and I know that it's going to be a good night. When you call me up on the phone, and I start to feel alright, alright, alright. Start to feel
Awesome sound. All right. I love this. Excellent. Wow. I am so happy that you are on the show this evening because it's been a blast all weekend to have you. Next set of questions here we got. Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So who are your biggest supporters?
So, I mean, we're all very, very fortunate in that we have incredibly supportive families. All of our significant others are super supportive, which, is really helpful when you're trying to, book practices and shows. And all of our parents are also super supportive. And of course, I mean, really, all of our parents have been supportive of our various musical endeavors for a very long time. So it's not like this is a new thing. Definitely all of us have been very fortunate in that regard that music's been in the family, and when each of us showed interest in it, there was a lot of encouragement to take it up and see what could happen with it. So from that aspect, we've been very blessed, if you want to use that word. We've also got some amazing fans that we could definitely consider friends as well. It's always a trip when you start kind of getting this core group of people that are showing up at the majority of your shows, and it's like, oh, you guys really are digging on the things that we're doing. That's absolutely fantastic. And then we do get a lot of support as well from a lot of the other local bands that we're really close friends with. The aforementioned Bruce Magnus and Mean Motor Scooter and Prof 63 and our friends Dustin and Matt from the Jerry Jonestown Massacre podcast. They've actually been very supportive about they randomly name drop us on a lot of their podcasts, which is just kind of weird, like listening back and all of a sudden our name pops up and it's like, what? Okay. So that's just fun. That's just a fun thing.
Oh, wonderful. Absolutely. What I want to say is I want to show some love and a little bit of a shout out to, of course, Ron McKibben. Thank you so much for sharing the link on GPR, and of course Bandemonium and Jukebox. Wonderful group of people who are supporting GPR in every way, shape, and form. I also want to say a big thank you to the Dharma Center Bookstore out in California, who's been listening in and supporting what I do. And, of course, my friend Sahib over in Pakistan. I can't believe that I even have a listener over on the other side of the world who's paying attention to what I do. So I'm very, very happy to have such a wide growth of listeners and people who love what I do. I'm really grateful for that, very much so. And I also want to get to the next set of questions here. What do you enjoy away from music?
So we are a band of nerds, or geeks, or however you want to describe that. In fact, that was one of the things that when I showed up for my audition with the band. This would have been back in November of 2017. When I showed up and walked into Matt's house and walked into his living room, which is where we rehearse, and realized that he had an entire shelf of Star Wars stuff. And I'm like, these are my people. This is amazing. So we're all big. All big into sci-fi and fantasy in its various forms, it's not unusual for for one of, if not all of us, to be at various Comic Cons or other anime type conventions when they're in town. So that's definitely a thing. We definitely all consume a lot of geek and nerd stuff. But then also, we're also all very conscious of spending time with our families. I mean, I realize that's one of those like super cliche things like everybody says, but it's true. I mean,
yes.
You can't, the people that are closest to you, you need to make sure that you're spending the time and valuing the time with them, because they're the ones supporting us in our ability to do this. They're giving us the emotional support and all that to let us not necessarily totally live out our rock and roll dreams just because, but definitely giving us the platform and ability to have the time to do something that we all love doing.
Of course, yes. And I wanted to let you know that one of the favorite things that I happen to enjoy myself is going to Comic Cons and various different kinds of events of that nature as well. So you probably might run into me at a time or two in one of those places. So I'm totally
greater than zero chance, yes.
Yes, of course. And 2020 being the most blessed year, and we're off to a quasi-rough start, as I like to put it. What do you hope to achieve?
Really, we just want more people to hear our music. One of the things that has definitely changed with the music industry over the last 20 odd years since the first band I was in. It's obviously gotten so much easier as an independent artist to record your music and make it available to the masses. You don't have to go through the record company route. There used to be a definite gatekeeper effect where if you didn't have a record deal, you were just not going to get heard on any sort of wider platform. It just wasn't going to happen. So the so the fact that we can record an album ourselves and get it out onto all the streaming platforms and the Spotify's, the iTunes, and all that, and have it out there so that it can be consumed by a wider audience without having to go through a record company. That's amazing. The flip side of that being that because the barrier to entry on it is so much lower now, there's a lot more music out there, which is fantastic. Because
yes.
Music is a wonderfully fantastic, amazing thing, but it does increase the signal to noise ratio when you're trying to make your stuff stand out over somebody else's, and so just trying to fight that battle. I don't necessarily know that battle is the right word, but it's the one that I've got right now, to bring your music to a wider audience and make them care enough about it to want to listen to it, to want to stream you, to want to purchase the album, whether it's a digital version or a physical copy, to have them want to purchase your merchandise. That's definitely the challenge that every band faces, and it's definitely something that we're trying to overcome along with everybody else. So getting more people to hear our music, playing some shows outside of the DFW area, because at this point we've been exclusively a Dallas-Fort Worth band. We haven't made any sojourns outside of the area yet.
Right.
Which we definitely want to do.
Yes.
We just haven't done it yet.
Okay, understood. Now, the last song I want to play this evening is called "Deadly Affair." Do you have? Can you tell me in 30 seconds or less what the song is about. Story behind the music.
So, sure. So, Deadly Affair was Josh's attempt at writing a James Bond song to a movie that doesn't exist and will likely never exist. But, you know, if you're into action spy movies, it's pretty fantastic.
Okay, all right. So this is Deadly Affair. Yes, of course. This is Deadly Affair by Josh and the Jet Noise, and this is the Gypsy Poet signing off saying adieu for now. But before I do that, I just want to say a massive thank you to Chris, who is my guest for the last 3 nights for Josh and the Jet Noise. And please have a listen to Deadly Affair, and please check out Josh and the Jet Noise on every musical platform accessible, which is on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, and anywhere else music is sold. Alrighty, this is Deadly Affair by Josh and the Jet Noise. And this is the Gypsy Poet signing off saying adieu for now.
You're the one that they call